Hello everybody, welcome back to the dig site, and today before we start today's video, I would just like to say two things. One is that I'm sorry for not uploading consistently, obviously I have school, but two, I am very glad to announce that one of my videos has hit 6,000 views, which is just insane to me. Thank you so much for everybody who watched that video, and without wasting any more time, let's get into it. In today's video, we will be discussing one of the major mysteries in 2015's Jurassic World. That is, why the Indominus Rex killed and ate its sibling. In order to understand why the Indominus Rex ate its sibling, we have to know what it is. And by that, I mean what the Indominus Rex is made up of, what is the Indominus Rex's sibling, and why it ate its sibling. To start with, we'll discuss what it's made up of. The Indominus Rex is the first ever hybridized dinosaur to be shown on the big screen. In the Jurassic Park/World timeline, it is suggested that the Indominus Rex was created in the year 2012, and the man who produced this beast was none other than Dr. Henry Wu. The Indominus Rex was said to grow up to 55 feet in length and 21 feet in height when it reached adulthood. The name Indominus Rex means indomitable, fierce, untamable king, making the Indominus Rex an upgraded version of the T-Rex. The creation of the Indominus was meant to boost the newly created theme park Jurassic World's attendance. Because, you know, when the first park went to hell and a giant T-Rex was running around killing everything wasn't enough, somebody had to make a stronger, faster, and smarter animal. Good job, Henry Wu. The Indominus Rex was made up of several things, however. The two main genomes added to this monstrous beast were a combination of Tyrannosaurus Rex and Velociraptor. On the Jurassic Park wiki, there is a list of possible other genomes that could have been added as well. I'll put up an image now. As you can see, other dinosaurs like Majungasaurus and Carnotaurus were added, as well as other animals like cuttlefish and pit vipers. So now we know what the Indominus Rex is made up of, let's talk about its sibling. The Indominus Rex's sibling was actually shown in the movie, and you probably missed it. If you can recall, at the beginning of the movie, the camera is focused on an egg, and while it begins to hatch, the camera zooms away from the first egg to a second one. A few seconds later, that egg begins to hatch and the camera zooms back onto the first egg. The dinosaur in the first egg has broken the shell just enough to where it is revealed to be a baby Indominus Rex. Now, for some reason, when I first saw this movie, I thought this baby dinosaur was one of the 4 Velociraptors for some reason, like blue or something, but now I know that it was the Indominus Rex. Anyway, we can assume that the second egg that was shown and beginning to hatch was the Indominus Rex's sibling. Or, if you think that the first egg was the Indominus Rex's sibling, then okay. But nonetheless, those 2 eggs that were beginning to hatch were both the newly created hybrid siblings. Now, before I talk about the main subject, I just want to ask this. What is the color of the Indominus Rex's sibling? Originally, I thought it would be the same color as the one we see in the movie, you know, the grayish-white version, but now I remember that there were supposed to be 2 Indoraptors in Fallen Kingdom, and the Indoraptor sibling was supposed to be white. Also, in Jurassic World Alive, there is Indominus Rex Gen 2, where that one is black. Although I don't think that is the best place to get information, but I don't know. Maybe the Indominus Rex is the same color, or maybe it was the opposite color, like the Indoraptor sibling. So now we know what the Indominus Rex's sibling is, let's talk about why it was killed. Now, there are 2 things to cover. The first is a sort of paleontological side, the other is a theory. I'll start with the paleontological side. Remember when I stated that the Tyrannosaurus Rex DNA was one of the main pieces to creating the Indominus? Well, it turns out that in real life, Tyrannosaurus Rex actually was sometimes cannibalistic, potentially fighting for territory or killing a rival while competing for a mate. So it could have been that once the infant hybrid siblings were released into their shared enclosure, the Indominus Rex that we saw in the movie got agitated at one point, killing its sibling and then later eating it. The second reason is actually pretty interesting. You see, after the 2 Indominus Rexes were born, the researchers and Henry Wu would be filled with joy because their experiment had worked. After this huge success, the researchers would immediately start putting the infant dinosaurs through multiple tests, some of these tests crueler than others. This is where the interesting part comes in. You see, during these tests at some point, the infant dinosaurs would be placed in the same holding cage, and since the tests wouldn't stop anytime soon, the Indominus Rex we see in the movie would notice that its sibling is getting weaker as time goes on. So with a tough decision, the prime Indominus Rex kills its sibling, so that it wouldn't have to suffer anymore. When the researchers noticed this horrifying sight, they rushed to try and separate the 2. But it would be too late. The Prime Indominus Rex killed its sibling in a matter of seconds, leaving only one Indominus Rex left. In my opinion, the paleontological reason would show just how ruthless and monstrous the Indominus Rex we see in the movie really is, but on the other hand, I love the second reason. Not only does it give this hybridized monster more character and a sad backstory, but it also gives a reason for why the Indominus Rex was so ruthless and killed so many things. From birth, it hated humans for the tests they did on its sibling, and the fact that the Prime Indominus had to take it into her own hands and kill her own sibling to stop their suffering. But what do you think? Do you think the Indominus Rex killed its sibling due to instinct and only the strongest could live? Or do you think the Indominus Rex killed its sibling in order to end its suffering, prompting the reason why the Prime Indominus is so bloodthirsty? I hope you enjoyed today's video. Make sure to like the video as well as subscribe to the channel. Also, while you're there, make sure to turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any other series. I hope to see you in the next video and hope you have an amazing rest of your day.